Well, happy Sunday, guys. I teased you a little bit there. I accidentally pressed my spacebar button. It started the intro over again, but welcome in, guys. It's the end of the month, and it is the live Sunday show-off show. So I'm excited for today because I got all my buddies on tonight. We're kind of still coming down from Heroes Con that was last weekend. I just want to give a little bit of time people to jump in. I see a lot of people are in the chat, and we'll handle some business real quick. And make sure you guys know to check me out on Instagram. Feel free to drop a line at SideQuest Comics Gmail. And you can also get a hold of me on Instagram. Just message me there. And make sure you guys hit that like button. Give me a like, subscribe, and comment if you haven't already. I'd appreciate that. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get to bringing my guest on. You guys know all my guests. They're all my buddies. They're part of the FOMO Squad. And yes, we have all that. And they're chomping at the bit to come on and just talk about stuff. So I'm going to start with Dope. Since Dope, we always leave you for last show in books because you're like the closer.
I'm happy to be here. Very happy to be here.
Now, you didn't put any books away yet, right?
I haven't put anything away. I need to get all this crap out of the floor.
Oh, man. I've still got piles next to me.
After tonight, things are being put up.
All right. Next up, we have Nate from Hall. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, glad to be here, man.
The amount of streams that you go on, I'm surprised you still have the energy to come on. But then again, we're just a bunch of knuckleheads talking, it's like we're at the comic store talking, right? That's what everybody says. We're just like schmoes talking in the comic store like we're solving the world's problems.
I think it's exactly what this is. It's an online comic book shop.
And then last up, we have Lettuce Comics, and look at him. He's got the bootleg on.
Repping.
He bought that out of the alleyway at Heroes Con.
Does it got a little stain on it, for the fried chicken or something?
Don't ask about that. Don't ask no questions, won't be no problems.
I really like the bootleg. Like I want to sell the bootleg.
He's the guy that stands outside of the
shirt. I have a shirt that I used to wear to baseball games because I didn't have any baseball team shirts, and it just said "Go Sport" on it. And I got pictures taken with several people because they really like that shirt.
That's amazing.
That might be the Heroes Con 2026 shirt.
Sharpie on a white t-shirt. I love it.
Well, normally what I do with the guest is at this point I kind of ask you guys a little bit about yourselves and stuff. But you know what? You guys are my homies. Everybody knows who you guys are because we're always on streams together. But if you guys are interested, if you're not following any of these guys, make sure you go down below. I got links down below for everybody. For you to check out Dope Comics, on Instagram and YouTube, or maybe you want to see Nate on Hall Yeah, or Lettuce, who has content coming pretty soon because I know he's been filming. So make sure you guys go check them out if you haven't subbed them up yet or follow them. We're all kind of. That's the thing I think we bonded from, you guys, is that we all are very different in our interests. I'm the X-Men guys. Nate, you like DC, Dope, horror, and Hagen, you like Marvel and Captain America is kind of your guy. We all have our things, but we like what we like, and we appreciate what the other people like because that's their jam. We're not why are you liking that guy? Why do you like the ferret? Because he's silly. It's entertaining, and that's what it's a hobby. It's supposed to be entertaining.
Well, the good thing about us hunting together is we can hold up with other. We think, hey, you want this? This is your stuff. We're not fighting over the same stuff.
Oh yeah, and we've done that across booths last weekend. Mm-hmm. Well, it was more so. It wasn't like, you might need this. It's no, you freaking need this.
Yeah. It was very cool to dig with you guys.
I'm not asking you guys about what your favorite characters are and all that since we already got it. I kind of wanted to use tonight as kind of we're still coming down from Heroes Con a little bit. And I was trying to think about what haven't all of us covered on different shows or in shorts and videos and all that stuff. So I thought we'd kind of continue a little bit because we got together last Tuesday on your channel, Nate, with our typical FOMO Squad. show. But I wanted to touch on stuff maybe we haven't touched on yet, and I wrote some stuff down. And it was like one of the questions was there things that we didn't get to do there? Was there anything you guys could think of that we didn't really? Because we talked a lot about doing things there. Like, dope. Yeah. We didn't even try to film your movie, man.
I know it. I had a whole list of stuff, and when we got there, you know, even the stuff I had planned just for me went flying out the window just because it was so hectic and busy. The crowd don't know, but we were going to make a horror movie one night while we were in our room, and I had the whole outfit with me and everything, and we never didn't get around to doing it, but we had a great time. So
yeah, that's a huge disappointment for me because like I was really excited by that, but you're right in that, like, you know, Friday night Hagen and I had a thing that we went to. Saturday night Eric was doing the drink and draw. Like it was hard to like Eric asked if there was anything we didn't do. Like doing the things we did kind of kept us from doing other things too.
We had like too big of a list, right? That's what I thought. Like, it was just too much to do and not enough time.
I had a bunch of lists. I was going to take like the top 10 horror things I found, the top 10 weirdest things, the top 10 most expensive things, and everything just got thrown out the window just because it was just, I mean, organically though, it was fun. We just did what we wanted to do.
So, yeah,
it was kind of like, just like you've mentioned before, Nate, it was summer camp, right? You summer camp, you're just hanging out, talking about stuff you love, seeing people that maybe meeting for the first time. That's kind of that was my take away from it all, is like I got to meet pretty much everybody that I've been talking to for a year and a half on here in person. And it felt so natural. Like we just picked up like it was nothing. So for me, and I did a post about this on Instagram today, it wasn't about the comics as much as it was about the people. It was about the, you know, making those connections you made a little more solid, you know? So I thought that was kind of cool.
And also, I think if I could go back, some of the things I would change is like, I really didn't, might just be me, but I didn't think the art auction was as great as I thought it was going to be. I would have probably went to a dinner that night, you know, and
yeah.
You know, I don't know what I was expecting, but I thought there was better art at the con than there was at the art auction.
Well, at the con, they had a lot of the pieces that were available at the art auction. And I think if you haven't watched Matt from Impress Comics video, he did a really, really thorough breakdown. I don't know how he remembers everything that he did, because I certainly don't. But he did a really great breakdown. And one of the things that he talked about was getting to watch Scotty Young paint his piece live. And like, that's way better than going to an auction. You know, that Thundercracker figure is sick. It's so cool.
I just thought that maybe at the, you know, for bragging rights, I thought these guys would go the extra mile and they'd work on something all year because they wanted to sell their piece for more than everybody else. And it really wasn't, I mean, it was great art, but it wasn't any better than the art I could see at the con, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking at art at the con that was $100,000, you know.
There were
and all that. So
there were some people that got commissions done that I thought blew most of the things at the auction out of the water. Now, there were some things at that auction that blew me away.
Captain America at the auction. That was my favorite piece.
I loved that big Fantastic Four piece they did too. That was good. There was a Supergirl and a Superman. There were a lot that I liked, but the art auction itself was a lot chaotic for me, to be honest. Like
it was like big boy money, right? And that's why I kind of was like, I wanted to check it out, and I was only there maybe 15 minutes, and I was like, I mean, this is fun and neat, but it's not really my thing. I mean, I don't want to see people throwing money at the artwork. I can, you know, I don't do that.
I don't care about the money. It was the loudness and the number of people that were there. That art auction was more packed than the con was. And like, I'm not somebody who does great around crowds. And so like I was going up and I was filming the wall of all the art stuff, and I was like already sort of at my limit. And then I felt somebody breathing on my neck, and I didn't even turn to see who it was. I was just like, nope, I'm gone. I have to get out of here. And I think I let you guys know that I was leaving. I let like Colossus and Noah and Lunch Michael know that I was leaving. And then, you know, I was gone. I had to get out of there.
Yeah, as we were talking, I realized that I didn't address the chat. So let me do it now. Welcome in, guys. All you guys. I see JSS, Matt Likes Comics, Big Nasty, Derek, all you guys, Stevie D that are coming in. Thank you for joining us tonight. I got a little excited. We got a little excited. We get to talk about our summer camp again some more. So
me and Rich got there early, and you had to wait in line for 10 minutes, and then you got in, and everybody flooded like cattle. And then they try to make you go the same direction. You couldn't see none of the artwork. It's better off getting there late, like y'all got there, and walking in after it's already kind of started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you could go to eat, get there at 9:30, and still have 2 hours to watch the thing.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I mean, that's kind of what we did.
Yeah.
And yeah, we turned, I didn't know where it was. Mr. Aiken showed me, and is like, we turned a corner, and then you could just hear it, like coming down those stairs, the sound. I was just like, oh man, I don't know if I got the constitution for this. Like,
yeah. Well, one of the things too, I think, is it was a first time there, right? And it's one of those learning experiences that, like, if I go next year, I'll know more about like where things are, what I want to do, and maybe manage my time better, type of thing.
Let me tell you something. Hagen and I saw on Sunday was remember that guy we saw? He was walking with that Alf homage cover. And he had a stack of art. So the next day, the stuff that didn't sell, they were doing something with it. Like they just had piles of it, I guess. And so
over on that side stage or something like that.
Yeah. And I think they were going pretty cheap. The fact that I could have got that Alf was killing me. But yeah, so the stuff that didn't sell, I guess they were kind of maybe blowing out the next day. So I wish I could check that out too.
Well, next year, one thing I'm going to do different is I'm going to stay Sunday night also. Come back
a little bit easier. Yeah.
I would have really preferred to stay Sunday night.
It made our trip, like before I had everything packed up by Sunday night. So that way Sunday we just load the car and go. We ended up getting up, went downstairs, had one good meal for the road type of thing. Weren't in a big rush to get on the road, loaded up and got on the road. So it was a little bit easier to get out. And I didn't want to get out right away either. I kind of wanted that morning Monday traffic kind of die away, but surprisingly it wasn't that bad actually. We got out of there about 10 in the morning and it wasn't too bad.
No, we left at like 7 in the morning, but yeah, staying Sunday night was definitely because otherwise I'd have to leave at like 7 in the morning on Sunday, and I don't want to miss the last day. So yeah.
Well,
definitely recommend that.
Just to give you guys that are watching a summary what we're doing tonight. And so when we first started planning going all of us together, I came up with a list of like comic challenges, things to hunt for and stuff there. But before we get to that, I do have more questions that are they were on the list, but stuff that weren't really comic. You can't buy a comic to fill into these questions. But some of the questions I had were reviews of your con's favorite moments. Do you guys have a favorite comment moment, like your favorite find, or maybe a favorite meetup, or dope for you, favorite food?
I got a favorite food. I got a favorite moment. I got a favorite everything. My favorite moment was probably the very first night when it was like Christmas and we all brought gifts and we all went to famous 823. Yeah. And speaking of Kate, she's asking if we've crushed any White Claws. We were crushing White Claws and opening gifts and trading AOKs.
Yeah.
And we just sat around and nerded out and had a great time. It's the first time we'd met Eric. So
yeah. Dope. If you have a picture of your dresser with all the White Claw corpses on it, you need to post that on Instagram if you haven't already.
By the end of the week, Kate, it was it was a lot of them. We all had at least brought a case, so I don't know how many was in there, but we had a lot.
It was, we had at least 48, 72 White Claws between the four of us.
And I'm the type of guy that whenever I get to a hotel room, I was there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I just put the do not disturb on the outside the door because I don't want them coming in there where all my valuable comic books are. So it wasn't cleaned all week, so there was cans all over the place.
Yeah, that's fine.
Really quick, I just want to answer Steve's question. If a person with $200 shows up on the last day, would it be advantageous? Funny that you mentioned that, Stevie. I went to Heroes Con with $200 for all 3 days, and I had a hell of a time. So I think you would do just fine if you could only make it to one day with $200.
Yeah,
and I think Sunday is the day.
Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, people. There was that one booth that they had. If it was $10 or under, it was $2, and if it was above $10, it was $5. And they were just blowing stuff out, and people. That was the only time like I was digging, and it was a little like uncomfortable because people were going like, they were going rabid.
That first place we went to on Sunday that had all that stuff,
that's what I'm talking about.
In there, and I was like, you know what? I went like this for a couple of minutes. I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this. I know.
It was kind of uncomfortable because people were being a little gross with their like they were just piling them up.
But even $200 on a Friday was even good though, because they had all the dollar bins everywhere, and Friday wasn't near as busy as Saturday.
No,
so Friday would have been a great day to go if you had $200. You just want to hang out.
Well, I think on Friday too. I mean, it just seemed like a lot of the vendors were just like, get in here and buy something. They were all really accommodating, and they were asking what you were looking for because they had a lot of competition. And I think a lot of those guys really just were doing a heck of a job communicating with their customers, which I really appreciate. Because, how many times do you go to a show and the vendor's like hard to talk to or deal with, but I really didn't see that at all. I didn't experience it.
No, I think I heard Mike mention that he had problems kind of negotiating with one guy. The guy just would not budge. Yeah. So he said he went like around the corner, found the exact same thing that he was haggling with, got it, and then came back with it tucked under his arm as he went by the guy's booth. There was maybe a little bit. I mean, he did say that he was just being very, this is it. He didn't want to budge, and I, you can expect that. I understand that, but you just go a little bit down the way. There's somebody right around the corner. So
that's what I've been telling everybody, that like there are obviously booths where the price was a little high, either on the wall or in the bins or both. And if you don't like the price, ask to see if they'll come down. Chances are they will. If they don't, go 10 feet to your right, go 10 feet to your left, look at the booth behind you. Like there are not a lot of books there that you can only find in one place. Most things have like multiple copies, honestly.
And if you came up with I would just hand them a stack of books and say it came up to $34. They're like, just give me 30. They wouldn't even they didn't even care. It's like, it's $27. Just give me 20, whatever.
Yeah, they're not going to argue over $2. I mean, shoot.
Yeah, they didn't even want your $2. They're like, just give me 20.
Did you guys have any other specific memory standout points? I
like the dinner we had at the factory.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I did too. Because I like the sandwich that I got. I got that grilled cheese sandwich. That's just like that first bite is like melted in my mouth. I'm just like, oh my god, I got to come back here.
It's a cool place that we wouldn't have known about Hagen, but I think a lot of the people didn't know about. And I took Rich down there, and
you guys went there, right?
Mandy went back twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a cool place. I think if more people from the con knew about it, a lot more people had been going down there because there were so many good restaurants in that one factory.
Oh yeah.
I was telling everybody that I saw, like, if you are going with a group of people and you all have different tastes in food, go there. Like that was so nice to be able to do. To be able to like hang out with you guys and like take you to the places that like I love to go to. Because every time I go up to Charlotte, I either end up at Optimus Hall or at Bossy Beulah's, which I got on the way home because we didn't get to go together.
Yeah,
and I had a chicken sandwich on my mind.
There's another something I do different. I would go get that chicken sandwich he made me want and take me to.
Well, I want to go back to the Jewish cafe I was at when I went with Rich, because that big pastrami sandwich was on point.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't get nothing like that around here. So
yeah, I'm a sucker for good pastrami. No, what were the moments that you were talking about? So favorite like moment of the con. One of my favorite moments of the con was when 30 minutes after Dope got there. Dope, I don't know how much you want me to say. Like,
I don't care. I mean, I've already said it on my channel. So
all right, cool. So y'all, Dope did not spring for the press pass. Didn't spring for the VIP. Got the advanced 3-day ticket, right? Which means he got in there at 11. He was standing in line at 11. He got down to us at 11:20, right? And you walked up to us, said your highs and lows, and you were like, all right, I'm going to go take a lap. I'm looking for a 181. And we were like, all right, bud, I hope you have a good time. 30 minutes later, with no change in body language, with no red flags, no warning signs, Dope walks up to us, like standing all around, and he's like, well, I just spent $10,000. I was
There
like,
was it was
Nate,
that
I think you
direct.
immediately took a knee. Like
I sat down on the floor. I laughed, but then I could tell he was serious, so I had to sit down.
Well, I could tell Hagen was about to tell me, I found a 181 over here, and do you want to go for a lap and look at it? And I was like, I'm done. I've already got all my books.
Yeah, we found that book for you. That's right. We're like, oh, we got to find Dope. There's one here.
Yeah,
little did we know, he's like,
one.
I got it.
And then I opened up my book bag, and and I got the Avengers one in there, and the 181, and the 180, and the Fantastic Four. I had all the books I came looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew the price ranges I wanted. I knew the grades I wanted them in. So I just went around and sniped them all.
He was laser focused.
I would walk up to them saying, is this the best you could do? And if they said, yeah, I'd buy it. If they say no, I'm like, well, whatever you come up with, here's your money, so. And I spent, I think it was $9,800 in 40 minutes.
It was insane. I know you had your plan, but I've just never seen anyone execute it so quick. You were like, now I can do whatever I want. It's like, what do you call that? That seems like what you wanted to do too.
I was handcuffed. I had to get it over with, So.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and Matt, I did the same thing. Like Dope, I asked you point blank while Nate and Eric were laughing. I still didn't quite believe you. I was like, Dope, I just need you to tell me right now. Like, are you fucking with me? Just be honest. And you were like, nah. And you opened up your bag, and I was like, oh my god.
When we say it was like the Pulp Fiction case, it just opened up. We were expecting light to come and hit us.
Well, tell them what happened at the train station the night before that when we were out there in the scummy part of the town.
So, we were coming back from getting dinner, and I just hear, we're coming back from the train station, and I just hear behind us shouting and yelling and laughing. And I turn around, and Nate and Dope are crawling on the ground for dollar bills.
$100 bills.
$100
bills. Had to have been $3,000 or $4,000 that just
10,000
fell out of your pocket.
10,000.
Oh, was it all 10?
I had 10. I had $100 bills in my pocket.
So,
and I went to pull my phone out of my pocket, and it's got that rubber thing around your phone, and all the money went flying up in the air, and the wind was blowing real hard off the train station, and it looked like one of those things that you're just grabbing money. Nate was running down the side, stomping on money. $100 bills were going everywhere. I couldn't get them all. They went every direction.
He pulled his phone out of his pocket, and it was like Sonic getting hit with the rings. Like money just exploded.
If it that went down to the train tracks, through. I couldn't have got to it because we were up there at that level. So it was raining money.
That was horrifying, and you got it all back. Like that was great.
You got it all back. I had 2 handfuls. I had a phone in one hand, and what didn't fall in the other hand. I couldn't grab nothing. I'm trying to grab it like this.
You would have never made it in those wind tunnels where they're blowing the money around you. You're trying to grab it.
I'm just shocked that you didn't invest in like a rubber band or something, just to keep it all in one area. Like my brother in Christ, you were on public transportation with a cool 10 bands in your pocket. At least wrap them together. You're kidding me. No, that's what I realized, that you and I are very different kinds of people. Because if I dropped $10,000, I don't know. I'm in the middle of robbing a bank. That's the only way that could happen.
Oh man.
So
play hard.
I had
Eric.
I was memories from.
Okay, go ahead.
So the first one was when Matt went and got Maria Wolf, sketchbook, and she filmed that private message on his phone, and they sent it to me. And then we ran into her at the auction. I sat there and talked to her for 15 minutes. What a fantastic lady. I mean, she boosted my ego times 10 type of thing. And she's this big. She's a little tiny woman, and she's just very, going flailing the arms and all that stuff, and it's just pumping you up type stuff. So that was one of my probably my favorite moment of the whole con, because it just really made me feel good, because I'm that typical artist that no matter what you're doing creative wise, it's just not good enough type of thing. So that was nice. And then the other thing that I loved is, like we mentioned before, sitting around and just trading books, basically. Just kind of brought me back to being a kid. I was sitting on the floor with my legs all sprawled out with a box between my legs. And so that was kind of one of my two big memories that I can remember from the time.
Yeah. It was the first night where we were all like sort of hanging out together. It was the night where the four of us got together and did our show and tell. And then one of my favorite moments, or my favorite moment on the con floor, was Nate, you coming up to me and handing me a brute force one, with being the last thing that we found. That was really cool. Yeah.
This was gold. Like, I can't believe that happened the way it did. And yeah, capped the whole thing off.
I might get that book graded. That's how much I enjoyed that moment.
Well, I mean, I showed you this morning. Somebody messaged me that there's that little backup story, but I guess they did on the Marvel Unlimited app. There's a 6-issue digital only brute force comic written by a comedian from like 2023 or something. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to find that too.
Yeah.
When I left the art auction that night, me and Rich stayed maybe till 9:30 or something like that. I was coming down the escalator and a big coach bus had pulled in right there doing the U-turn where, like parking is. And the little wolf woman, what's her name?
Maria
Wolf, and a bunch of other artists got off of the bus right there. So I guess they all went out to dinner or something, but they all come walking in together. And I thought it was pretty neat just seeing them all out there half tipsy, having a good time, laughing and carrying on. So
yeah.
So
yeah, I'm sure they were having their own adventure. I talked to an artist who actually had been. He was like, "Yeah, I just went out to dinner with Xander Cannon." I was talking to him about that, and he was like, "Oh, I just went out to dinner with him, like at the con, like they were friends."
Cool.
So,
and even like Saturday morning when I came down the elevator, like at 10 o'clock or it was early than that because we all went to breakfast together. Before breakfast, there was people sitting down in the lobby like doing sketches. So I guess it was famous artists that was doing sketches for people that they've had on their list that they're trying to get done before the con that day. Yeah. So you could run into anybody on the elevator or at breakfast or anywhere. It's kind of cool just having a hotel with the creators,
Yeah, it's kind of, you never know, you run into them. Any other kind of memory things? Nate, do you have anything that stands out to you?
I mean, yeah, tons.
But tons, right?
Like, yeah. I mean, being for us, like another one for us is just like every time we turned around, we were trying to figure out where Eric was. Like that was the question. Where's Eric at? Like we never knew what line you were standing at what time.
And it wasn't just us; it was JR too. He's like, "Where's Eric? He's 30 minutes late for that."
So, I was freaking out. I actually left a line for that when I realized what time it was. I'm like, I can't wait no more. Yeah.
I liked running into people too, like just kind of at random on the floor. Like I saw Eric from 9 Panel Grid, and I wish I would have had more time to talk with him. But saw Noah a couple of times. Broke Boy Comics.
I saw him in a line.
Yeah, he was another line warrior though. Like he was getting a lot of signatures and stuff.
Yeah, I like meeting everybody from Brian LCS to Matt to everybody. I never met Impressed Matt before, none of them. So it's nice meeting all those guys.
Yeah. I had a nice meal with Matt. Mary,
Mr. Aiken. I like Mr. Aiken.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Rich, Big Nasty Comics.
Yeah, hung out with him. I met him before everybody else. Yeah.
But he's another one that like I could hardly find because he was in
kind of like me. He had a list that he wanted to make. He used his press pass to its fullest.
Well, he was leaving the con usually when I got there. By the time I got in, he's like, I've been standing up for 4 hours waiting in line. I'm taking these comic books back. I'm like, I'm right behind you.
It was impressive the way, and that's the thing is like, my con experience was the digging and the looking at walls and stuff. Whereas, Eric and Rich, you guys were more there for specific creators to sign things. And then there's people who go like and get the commissions and things from some of the artists. And that's another avenue that's kind of cool. Like we looked at Anthony's original art and I don't know, Eric, did you come over? The guy who had all the books of original art, like just pages.
Yeah, that's where I got some of the Aquaman ones. Those two are from
no,
Anthony's.
not Anthony's. There was another place.
That was there another place? I don't think I saw
the guy that had the Jack Kirby's and all the real big art.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I probably would have been in trouble then.
Yeah, that's $100,000
and stuff like that.
It was terrifying to get to like the K section and flip it over from like, oh, this is a very reasonable $10,000 to $115,000. Like, oh my god! Like, but
it's just in a book that they let us touch.
Yeah, like I got to put my hands near original like Jack Kirby pencils. Like, when do you get to do that?
I wanted to shout, "What are you doing? Get this away from us!"
Do they leave them books there all night?
I can't imagine so.
You think they take them back with them?
I would think
like there was, I did see.
A cart.
I saw one Superman 1 and a 1.8 there. If they leave that there overnight, they're bigger idiots than we are. Like, there's no excuse for that.
Wasn't it? Didn't we see a Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing page?
Ooh.
There was a Bernie Wrightson something because y'all told me, hey, go down and look in that book.
Yeah, there was something that was really. There was a lot of really cool stuff there.
Speaking of art, you want to see my art that I bought?
Why not? Let's do it.
Heck yeah.
That's beautiful too.
Yeah,
when you showed us that, I was like, damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's from Anthony's art. So, and it's Mike DiCarlo, and he drew in all the different styles. Like, let me see if I can figure out. That's Kirby's art, how he drew, and it's got all the different. There we go. We got Kirby. We got the bushy-eyed CBS. Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
Down here you got like the 90s, 2000s. You got the one I remember as a kid in 1991 had the pretty bangs. So there's all the different styles of Hulk. And I bought this on day 2 or 3. I don't remember what day I bought it, but it's day 2. So, yeah.
That's really cool.
So. Well, since we're showing stuff, something I wanted to jump into, and I mentioned as one of my favorite things is everybody kind of AOKing trading comics, because it was unreal to me that how, a lot of us have been saving up books because we find them and be like, oh, this is perfect for that person and that's perfect for that person. So what I thought we'd do is just pick one from different people. So we can all go at once and just show them. I got 4 here that I want to show off. I'll go ahead and start.
I don't know who brought who.
So I got stuff just from you guys, basically. And these are kind of like my favorite picks that I got from all you guys and different people at the con. So one of my all-time favorites, and my wife shook her head when she saw this one, because I have this obsession with this man. I grew up watching his movies, but Dope, you gave me Chuck Norris and the Karate Commandos #1.
I did.
I was so excited because I'm look at Chuck with that mustache. I love it. I love this comic. I remember with this toy. It was actually like the toys that had the levers, so you can make him do his karate chopping and stuff. So I was super excited to get that one from Dope. And then Hagen gave me this Fallen Sun, The Death of Captain America, with a sketch cover on it. Now, I'm not sure if that's John Romita or not. I know he did the art in the book, but it doesn't really look like his typical style.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. I gave it to you because I know how much you appreciate art, and I like that art.
Yeah.
And I thought that you would really enjoy it, but I do not know who it is.
I really wanted to show it tonight too, to see if maybe somebody out there knows if they recognize that art style. Maybe they know who it is, because I studied the art to see if there's like a little, initials or something somewhere, but I'm kind of stuck with who it is. So if anybody knows what this looks like, put it in the comments. I'd like to know, because I'm really curious about that. And then let's see, Nate, you gave me this because I am a sucker for the not turtle books.
Yeah.
There we go. Adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters. Now this is kind of their second run on a different company, Eclipse. So it's a little more cartoony, but I absolutely love these weird animal books. I mean, when you guys told me about that one box at that one booth, I went there and I looked and looked until I found that box. And then I was there for, 20 minutes just digging them out.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
the last one I got
the
this from Rich at Big Nasty. This one's been on my list. This was a kid book that I remember having. Ridiculous. That kind of almost a promotional comic. The comic is not that good, but I mean, talk about getting a kid to drink their Kool-Aid. Oh yeah, put it in a comic.
First appearance.
I think this is his first appearance in comics. Yeah,
I think it is.
So I better go get this slab, right?
Somebody paid 60 cents for that.
I did back in the day.
You think it'd be free?
Somebody did.
All right, who wants to go next? Let's Nate, you ready? You look like you're shuffling.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
saving
got
dope
quite
for
a
last.
few.
We saved dope for last.
He was here in the chat. So Derek Hammondtree, if he's still here, he gave all of us an issue of Ghosts,
yeah.
and that was kind of cool because we randomized them when we passed them out,
Fun.
and we all just like grabbed one, and we all kind of got one that was kind of perfect for us. So like this
Mhm.
one has a skull on a moth, so it's got like body horror, and that was really cool. So it was really nice of him. He gave those to me. He said, I want to make sure the FOMO Squad gets these. And then Eric, I think you gave me this Gold Key Star Trek that used to be owned by Gary.
Gary,
but he's not getting it back because this is super cool. I don't have very.
So I actually know the story behind Gary because I got that from Cheddar. He got a collection that was Gary selling it, and the other brother was Jerry. So they wrote their names on their books because that book is mine. Gary,
right?
You can't have it.
I think Dope has shown this book before. Maybe Mr. Akins gave this to me. It's Leather Society.
Oh my god!
And it has the characters of Falcon, Raven, Black Dwarf, Dr. Nocturne, and Constructo. And I feel like it was dope because you said it was first appearance.
That's first Black Dwarf. Yeah, that's
Dwarf,
number one.
That's right.
Yeah, he's got his back turned to you there, little Black Dwarf.
Right. So yeah, Mr. Akins gave me that, and
Keep that.
I'm really tickled. Hagen, this is cool. So this is a reprint of Turtles 8 with Cerebus as the guest star. So the old Mirage one with, Kevin Eastman and Dave Sim art. Like, the way Dave Sim always drew Cerebus no matter what. He always did it. That was awesome. Rich from Big Nasty. This is weird, man. Stray Toasters, which is a Bill Sienkiewicz piece. It's just wall to wall painted Sienkiewicz art, but it's very odd. Like that's very
his typical art. If you've never seen his like fine art, that's what
right.
it is.
Yeah. It's cool. It's just like story wise, it was I needed to pay better attention. Eric, you gave everybody a copy of this.
I had to spread this love. Heck yeah.
Van Damme Cyborg. So we can book club that.
The star
that's
of
great.
Bloodsport.
And I love that it does. It says Van Damme star of Bloodsport because that's what I saw him in first. Brian LCS. He gave me this whole miniseries. And Eric, I thought of you because it's written by Doug Monick, but drawn by Pat Broderick.
Oh wow.
Called Lords of the. I don't know what this is.
I've never heard of that one, but Pat Broderick.
I mean, it looks like a lost 80s toy line to me.
Yeah, it does look like mid 80s type of thing.
But Pat Broderick's art is it's good for that time period, especially. And then I'll show two more things. This I got from this is different. I got this from Dave. It's still only 35 cents. This is something he had and brought over from Australia for me. It's the souvenir photo album for the movie The Black Hole.
Yeah.
And
man. That was one of those movies that came out that I was a little bit young for it, but old enough to understand what was going on. It still freaked me out. So I can't hold it up very easily, but it's just got a bunch of pictures from the movie in there and a record. But I used to watch this a lot as a kid because for some reason I had the big clamshell VHS of it, and so we watched that.
I watched it a lot, and it's my son was like, "Well, should we watch it?" I was like, "It's pretty bad, so yeah, we should." I want to make sure he gets that. The last book I'll show is from Dope. Again, like this is one of those things. Like I hope it doesn't awaken something within me, but it's pretty dang cool.
Uh-oh.
It's a foreign edition of a Superman comic.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And he grabbed a couple foreign editions that were really cool to see too. So Lyle shows these a lot on Alan's Hangout. So this is my first foreign language comic, and I think it's really cool, and I appreciate it. Super comic.
All right, I am gonna go with Hagen.
Well, in honor of the show that we're on, I'm going to start off with one thing that you gave me, Eric. I'm going to show one thing from most people that gave me things. Some of them are mixed up into this challenge that we have going on.
Okay.
But I'm going to start with something that is really cool, and that is Captain America: The Great Gold Steel. I didn't know that this book existed. It's a little novel, like a dime store novel. There were apparently 2 books that were published around this time. It was a Cap book and an Avengers book. And I have to track down the Avengers book. And I tried to read this.
Yeah.
I'm very worried about the cover, like snapping off of it. So
is it that fragile, huh?
It's just, I don't know if you've ever like held an old, like Guinness Book of World Records or Ripley's Believe It or Not, but it has that sort of feeling to it. Marvel's paper quality went into their books as well as their
right.
So,
the cheapest you got.
Yeah. But Dope got me, or gave me Marvel Zombies versus the Army of Darkness. I read this and discovered once and for all that I really do not like Ash from The Evil Dead. I find him to be so annoying.
I like him in the movies, but yeah, I agree. I don't like him in the comics.
That was sort of the bit with this, and like I got it, I get it, but man, he's just grating as a character. But that's Dope. That's not your fault. I really appreciate this, especially with like the homage to it. That's so cool. And then Nate, you gave this to me on the last day. We've already talked about it, but it is Brute Force number 1.
Glorious.
It's just so beyond cool. There is much to say about that, but we shall move on.
Well, okay. One thing I did learn today is that the kangaroo's name is Hip Hop. So
First appearance of Hip Hop.
First appearance of Hip Hop. Let that sink in. Here we go.
I love that. I love that so much.
Have you looked it up yet on Key Collector?
Yeah. We got to find out how many 9/8 are on the Simpsons.
They might have all their first appearance names on there. I'll look it up real quick.
Let's see, hold on a second. I mean, there's some color rub. It's not going to be a 9/8. It's a 9/6 max. Isn't that right? Impressed. Yeah, I got this Silver Age Green Lantern. It's a 4.0. It's a 9/8 candidate though.
It's going to be a 9/8.
Rich from Big Nasty got me the first 3 issues of My Bad.
Cool.
This one features the Chandelier and the Salad Shooter. And I showed this to one of my friends, Jordan.
Awesome.
And he laughed at the Cukes of Hazard.
The Cukes of Hazard.
It's such a great name.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so there's that. Mr. Akins is a fellow Cap and Iron Man collector and lover, and he got me Tales of Suspense 90 to help me with my Tales of Suspense run that I'm sort of passively working through right now. So that's tremendously cool. Our Blue Wrench, Mr. JSS Brooklyn, John, treated us to a very lovely dinner and handed me this. This is 22 Brides #1, the first appearance of Painkiller Jane.
Oh, that's cool.
Really excited to read this. I know precious little about the character, but I've heard a lot of good things about her, and I've heard that she has some really cool and interesting stories. So I'm excited about that. It's always cool to have a first appearance. And then the last one that I'm going to show off comes to us from Brian LCS, and I've shown it to you before, and I had to do a read aloud of the back cover because it's just hysterical. But it is Loaded Bible, Blood of My Blood. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Hagen, isn't that the Shroud of Turin? Yes, it is the Shroud of Turin, because this book has a plot which is constituted thusly. Decades after the events of the original cult series, Jesus' vampire hunting clone is a bigger outlaw than ever. And now he has to face a threat like no other. The church has cut a deal with the vampire nations to unite under their resurrected savior, Dracula. It's just a hell of a thing.
Jesus's vampire hunting clone. That is my favorite part of that sentence.
Yep. That's my father you're talking about.
That's right.
It's just a hell of a thing. There you go, Matt. You got to see Jesus jumping out of a plane. But yeah, those are my that's a small sampling of my my like AOK books. Although I do have to say that there are a ton more than that, and a ton more people gave me things, and I'm doing an entire like dedicated video to things that like community members gave me, because if I tried to shove it into a Heroes Con video, it would be 2.5 hours long.
Yeah,
I'm doing the same thing.
Yep. All right, Dope. What do you got?
All right. Well, first of all, we got to go over this. Brute Force came out in 1990. It was the first team appearance of Brute Force. It's also the first appearance of Surf Streak, Lionheart, Reckless, and Hip Hop. And other key facts is Bruce.
I've got Soar as well. I think that's the Eagle.
It don't say first appearance of Soar. He might have been somewhere else.
All right.
It says Brute Force was a test subject to Weapon 2 program. I don't know what that was for Marvel, but
that leads up to Weapon X. It's Brute Force legitimately is part of the process.
They could have hung out with Wolverine.
Yeah, not only Wolverine, but Weapon 1 is Steve Rogers.
Well, in a mid-grade, that is a $2 value.
These are high grade, so they're $2.50 at least.
Yeah, I paid $5 gladly. Like, I mean, I was so excited.
Something's worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. So as soon as Hagen got there, I think this is the one you gave me, Hagen. I knew it was a black horror cover. Was this it, Hagen?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one that Nate and I found for you.
There's another black horror cover I showed yesterday, and Hagen said, that's not it. So must be this one. So this is a book that Hagen gave me.
That is cool.
Then I'm going to say Nate gave me this one, even though Nate and Hagen both found it.
Oh, yeah. Book club.
It's part of the book club. We're going to be reading that.
Mr. Cream Puff.
I'm warning you right now. It's so bad.
It's a quick read.
This is one of my favorite things Eric gave me. This is pretty cool. This is a little Hulk book.
Yeah, you got a little book too.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know if it is or not, but it says from 1966. So
That's
an old one. Really, really early Hulk. So
yeah,
it's really cool to me because I like all the old Hulk stuff. And I've got another little book from Hulk. I don't know what year this one is, but somebody sent me this one. So I got 2 little Hulk books now. So
I love those books. I like going in the like used bookstores and finding books from that era because it's something about them. It's just nostalgia to me. I remember school libraries had stuff like that, you know.
And then
it's like the Marvel magazines. The way they paint the covers like makes it look real or something. Yeah. There's just something cool about it.
Rich gave me this, and it fits me to a T. I love it. It's Trailer Park Terror.
Oh.
And it's like the ODC book.
So good.
This is Norma. She's smoking cigarettes and works at the Waffle House. She's your narrator.
So that one's been sitting in my comic shop order box for like since I discovered this from Rich. I was like, I gotta have this.
And the back cover is the same as the front cover. And then a really cool thing right here that Brian, local comic stud, got me is this giant horror comics book.
Wow.
Awesome.
Whoa.
And that's cool.
And I've already got that book to us.
Oh, that's
crib,
cool.
so,
You got the cover.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's got all kinds of stories in it. I'm going to try to set this big ass thing by my bed and just pick out a story and read all the time. But it's got all of the old, I don't know. You can see it's got all the stories in it and stuff. So,
oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, it's heavy. If somebody breaks in the middle of the night, I'm going to club them with this. So, and when I was walking around the mean streets of Charlotte, I'd always put this up my shirt and this. Anybody goes to shank me, I felt safe. So that's all my books.
All right. Oh my God. All right. So that was just a little touch of some of the I wanted to feature tonight. I mentioned this to you guys. I wanted to feature basically stuff we got tonight, and I figured that was a fun way to feature stuff we got, very generously from people in the community. But I also want to do our regular thing. So we are I gotta find my button. Where's my dang button? We're gonna play a game tonight,
about
guys.
2 inches in towards the front. You got to do a come hither
Not
motion.
that button.
Oh, okay, sorry.
This one.
Side Quest Comics presents this or that.
Now, I'm surprised she didn't come running, hearing herself. But yeah, so we're going to play a game, this or that. So I'm going to, basically what this or that is I got a couple different rounds here. Not as bad as the last time because I wanted to make sure we have time to show off some fun stuff. But I am going to present you guys with 2 books that are similar or opposite in some kind of way, character, era, that kind of thing. And you're going to pick one. What one is calling to you? Is it because of a character, writer, artist? Maybe it's something that you never read, so you're interested in. And then we're just going to talk about it. And you guys in the chat speak up too. I want to hear what you guys would pick. So let's go ahead, and I am all messed up with my buttons here.
Dope. Christina wants to know if you have any Hulk figures.
Ooh,
Christina Payne wants to know if you have any Hulk figures.
I've got a few.
Funny.
Got probably over 100 Hulk figures, yeah.
All right. So first round, we're going to start off with, so I got a little bit of a theme for these, but we're going to start off with some classic movies. So I'm going to start off with Darkman #1. So this is a limited series that they did in, I think it was 1990 is when this one came out. And there was 2 volumes of Darkman. I think this was the first one. And so it's going to be this or that. T2 #1. So what is your flavor, guys? Which one would you pick at if you were presented this? I mean, granted, we know the movie, right? We all went and saw the movie and all that stuff, but I want to read it.
Yeah, I would go Darkman just because it's stupider, and I like that.
that's really because it's stupider.
It is like it's a movie that definitely took itself a little less. It was kind of like a horror not slapstick, but almost dark comedy superhero too. Like, I don't know. And I've seen T2 to death. Darkman, like, I'm not oversaturated with Darkman, so that's my choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's Arnold, right? Arnold was at his height when this movie came out.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go Darkman too, just because I know T2 so well. It'd be a little bit different for me.
I have not heard of Darkman before. But Terminator 2, yeah, very much before my time. You guys were like, we all went to go see these, right? And I was like, yeah, I went to go see them when I went to the Family Video and rented them. But no, T2 is the best Terminator movie. It's just, it's a good movie. I don't know if the rest of them are good movies, but Terminator 2 is a great movie. So yeah, it would be Terminator 2 for me.
Okay.
I would rather read Darkman. I think there's more intrigue there. I know what T2 is about, and I think Darkman, you really don't know where it's going. I'd read Darkman.
So it sounds like most of this one is going to Darkman on this one. A couple T2s. Okay. So now this one,
I thought T2 would be a landslide.
I thought too, but maybe because it was oversaturated type of thing that everybody knew what it is. So that one's more of a, I don't know really what that is. All right, so we're going to go horror now. So this was one of the ones that we got to pick from, or no, this one I found from a booth. This isn't that gift, but we got this Witching Hour. This is number 69 with
the worst covers ever.
5 fatal fingers. I mean,
that's one of the best covers ever.
The snakehead puppet.
I got that whole series, and I did a thing on like the 5 worst covers, and I think that's the worst cover of the whole series.
Wow. Well, then
I love it. It's terrible.
Look at that pistol finger.
Yeah, the pistol finger's nuts.
The noose one is great too. Like,
yeah. The skull and the snake actually look kind of okay. The
What
knife,
about the dagger with a bent blade?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like just a
the
fingernail.
skull
really.
makes no sense. Like,
Yeah.
like the skull with hair. Like, am I supposed to just be afraid because it's a skull?
I mean,
The
I would be
knife
mad
is,
if I went to Heroes Con and that's what somebody drew me. You know? That's my commissioned artwork. I'm like, what?
See, I'd be ecstatic. I'd be ecstatic. You've got a gun with a tumor, a Komodo dragon, a noose that somewhat ambiguously transforms into a finger, a skull which for no reason has hair, and a knife from the before section of a Cialis commercial. Like,
Yeah,
it's got everything.
The skull looks like Lemmy from Motorhead to me.
Yeah.
The 5 fatal fingers.
I want to see the rest of this body.
All right,
Doesn't
so we got
matter.
this
He's
one.
competing against.
It's the rest of the body is like the thumb people from Spy Kids.
Well, I'm wondering now if you guys are gonna go with the other one, the way you're ripping into this one.
I
So we
love
got
that one. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
This-
I love it.
or we got number 36 of Weird War with some dinosaurs and a caveman getting jacked up by a soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we talking
Nate, you
read
and I
or better
saw this
cover, or
one.
what are we talking here?
I mean, that
Yeah,
looks
we
like what? Does
did.
that look like World War II
Yeah.
era guy?
Yeah. Fighting a Neanderthal.
Are we talking what we'd rather read or better cover?
Well, which other one you would rather read?
I'd rather
check
read
out.
Witching Hour. I'm more of a horror guy than a sci-fi guy, but the other cover is a lot better. I think it's probably Kubert.
Yeah, I think this is Kubert.
I'm gonna have to go Witching Hour. I
Mm.
really am. Like, it's I love the Weird War cover. I really do, especially dinosaurs.
You're
but
intrigued. You got to see what this book is about now.
I do. That Witching Hour cover again, it's stupider, and I have to know, like, when I open the book, that I want to read that.
I'm going to go against the flow again. It has to be Weird War for me. It has a dinosaur on the cover. That means there's a dinosaur in the book, or there better be. And yeah, I'm going to go with the chance of reading about a dinosaur. I'm a very simple man.
Yeah. Looks like Weird War is doing pretty well in the chat.
Yeah, I see a lot of Weird War in the chat. So I think here's a Witching Hour here.
I think the
Stevie has-
caveman would probably destroy that army man too, and just a regular fist fight.
Well, I mean, he does. The army guy doesn't have a gun anymore. So yeah, you're probably right. That dude is jacked. That's like
Yeah.
that's like
also,
Brock
Eric,
Lesnar and
I'm gonna say
Berserker
that's a
Wolverine.
hard choice. Like this, I don't think you can make a bad choice with this
No,
one. I think
and
you're
that's
gonna
I
enjoy your
try to
read.
keep them so close that
Yeah.
you got to pick a specific reason.
Right.
Realistically, I would read them both, right?
Right.
But yeah, I'm kind of like you, Hagen. I want to read the chance that there's going to be a dinosaur stomping on some World War II soldier, and Fred Flintstone here is going to, drive the tank. So
Yeah.
But that one looked like a lot of Weird War for that one. So, all right. So now I am going to get to some a little bit independent. I'm getting weirder. So the theme for tonight's This or That is I went deep. I went deep in my dollar bin box.
Good.
So first up we have by DC Comics. It's a number 1. It is Claw the Unconquered.
Yes,
So I'm going to Sword and Sorcery. I have a special heart for Sword and Sorcery.
I do too.
And this one's versus, now this is number 4. So I saw it, I grabbed it, but it's Beowulf the Dragon Slayer. So
Ooh.
both DC Comics, both kind of the same era, Sword and Sorcery. Which one sounds more interesting? I mean, based on the covers, Claw looks more cool. It looks like Conan. It's a Conan ripoff, is what it looks like to me.
I was going to ask you if Claw was better than Conan or a lot better than Conan.
Claw seems like it's a generic Conan, so I would go with Beowulf because I have no idea what it's about. Is that a woman?
No,
I'm
Who's that on that horse? Beowulf. Who's Beowulf?
that's a legendary story, isn't it?
I mean,
Yeah,
is that a woman on
Beowulf-
that horse?
Beowulf is I can't tell who's on the front of that. Who's on the horse?
It's a
woman's
man.
falling off.
Not like he's in a dress, but yeah,
I think it's Beowulf. No, Beowulf is the main character in the very first story written in English. He fights a beast named Grendel at a feast that they have. I read it in AP English, and
Yeah.
it was impossible to read in its like native language because it says it's
Right,
in English.
yeah.
It's not. But
It's
the
old
actual
English.
story is pretty good.
So that's not a first appearance.
No,
It's
Beowulf has
definitely
the
not.
first appearance.
I cannot remember, but I want to say Claw had something to do with Warlord, maybe.
I thought so too. I thought it was in that
so-
same world.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Claw because there was Claw, Warlord, and Stalker. I don't think Beowulf was part of
What was
that.
the Indian one? Or with the A? I got one at the con.
Yeah.
Y'all
I
remember
think he was in
Iron
that
Jaw?
same world too.
Yep.
Y'all remember
you're
Iron
right.
Jaw?
Oh yeah. Is that Atlas? Ironjaw?
I thought it was the same one. And then you had don't forget about Thongor.
I got a Thongor.
Mongol. Oh, there we go. Michael threw it up. Eric.
Oh yeah, I have quite a few.
I think I found number 1 at the con, and I bought it just because it's a number 1. It's gonna be a collector item.
I didn't get that one because it was like $2 that day. I was hoping I'd find it on the 50-cent day.
I didn't see any Thongor original art at the show where I'd have bought
it. Next year, Thongor commissions, man.
All right, so we
everyone's. I'm gonna get a Thongor jam piece going.
Oh God. So that was a lot of Beowulf on that one. I think it's because it is a recognizable name. Most people have seen them. They've made a couple movies of it, like CG and all that stuff. I remember.
Robert Zemeckis did an awful CG version of Beowulf.
It's so bad.
It's horrific.
All right.
I hate all those movies with the dead eye.
It's kind of creepy, right? It's almost real, but not real. So it's a little eerie.
I have a special place in my heart for Polar Express because I also love Tom Hanks, but like, oh boy, it's really uncanny as all hell.
Yeah.
All right, next round. So you guys mentioned this comic company, Atlas. So we're gonna start with this, the Cougar.
Wrong kind of cougar.
Yeah, wrong kind of cougar, not that one. But it's the Cougar. I mean, look what's going on there. I like this art. It's kind of cool. You see him flipping up from down here to attack the bad guy and save the girl.
Does he have an open chested costume?
I think he's
It looks like almost like a ballerina type of outfit, but I'm curious to know what's going on. Who's that villain? I mean, he's got a knife.
That's Morbius.
Right.
So that's interesting. So, and then this, or we got that another Atlas one. It's Hands of the Dragon.
Oh, I gotta go with that.
Kung Fu comic.
Kind of got both that martial arts feel, but this one, Dragon, feels a little more.
Hands of the Dragon.
Can you read me the name of the writer on Hands of the Dragon? Because if it's a white guy, I'm picking Hands of the Dragon.
It's a number 1. It is script by Ed.
Yeah.
What's the last name?
Fedri. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Fedori.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I heard Ed, I knew.
Yeah. Because it wasn't going to be like Ed Jinping. Like,
no,
it's going to be Ed like Stapleton or something. No, I love it when white guys try and write kung fu movies. It's the best.
Look at that kick though, the way his arms like up here.
Yeah, that's a lot of flair.
I've never heard of either of those, and Atlas only existed for like 12 months or something.
Yeah, they didn't exist, and then they were pumping
I don't know why.
titles that just didn't last long.
Yeah.
With titles like that, I don't know how they couldn't have lasted long.
Well, they had, what was it? Ironjaw. There was a space one they had too that was.
I saw someone.
Do you?
More like 2020, I think, or something like that.
Can you imagine living in like a small neighborhood and all you had was Atlas books, and you'd go to school and everybody'd laugh at you because they'd have Marvel and shit, and you're walking around with Hands of the Dragon?
Yeah. There we go. Matt knows that. The villain is called
Lego
Vampire.
It's the Lego versus Mega Bloks thing.
Yeah.
the Marvel versus Atlas.
It's me with that Transformer turned into French fries from McDonald's, and everybody else had real Transformers.
Right. I've got Megatron. I've got Starscream. I got French fries.
I got large fries.
Yeah, your tray.
I got hotcakes.
Well, it looks like the Hands of the Dragon. I mean, the only thing that prevents me picking this one, which is the title just does not roll off my tongue very well. So I kind of want to see what's going on in the Cougar. Maybe it's what the title is kind of fooling me about. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of dragon, I think, on that round. All right, 2 more rounds. So we're going to go indie some more. It's a little more recent. So we got by Dark Horse Comics, Mr. Monster. So this character in general, this was a #1. I don't know what series this is. I know he had a lot of short-lived series. Yeah. So we got this or that. Another Dark Horse Comics, but it's the Ghost. Or Ghost. I think it just goes by Ghost. So
Mr. Monster.
Mr. Monster. I really don't remember anything about these characters, but I remember seeing them a lot. I don't think I've seen them since the 90s in anything.
I've read plenty of Mr. Monster, so I'm gonna go Ghost. I've never read that.
I can't quite tell because of the pixelation, but I think Ghost has a boob, so I'm going to go with Ghost. Knowing nothing about either of those two, I'm going to go with Ghost. Is Patrick Swayze involved somehow? I hope Patrick Swayze is involved somehow.
Some pottery being made. Let's see. Oh, geez, Matt is dropping some info on the Cougar here. He's a stuntman turned superhero.
Aren't they all?
So we got Christopher's going with Mr. Monster. We got another Mr. Monster, Ghost. It's
always got to be like a stuntman or a circus acrobat or something like that. You never hear like the deadbeat dad turned superhero or something.
Now, that's a hell of a thing.
Now that's a comic that I don't want you to sue me for if I can sell it to somebody.
The Claw, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, I see this one kind of split a little bit. I don't know which one's taking this one. It looks like Mr. Monster is a little bit more. But yeah, I'm curious about, I think, Ghost more than Mr. Monster because boobies. All right, last one, guys. So this one was one of my major finds a couple months ago because I found in a random pile at my store, and I don't think they realized what they had. And I kind of said, "You guys are charging too little for this." So I still got a good deal on it, but I got DN Agents cool. Number 24. This, I think, other than the Rocketeer one, was my first Dave Stevens, and I think I got it for $30. So, which I think is a steal compared to some of the prices I see out there.
Oh, heck yeah.
Beautiful cover, though. So we got this. What can you go against this? I see you guys questioning that right now. But it's a book that Dope gave me, Alien Worlds by Dave Stevens. So you like the 80s punker look, or do you like the 50s sci-fi? I don't know.
I'm going with Alien Worlds.
This one, I think, comes down to the art theme, I think, more.
Yeah.
Can't just pick boobies on this one.
I mean, I have Alien Worlds. I don't have the DN Agents, so that's kind of why I want to go with that. Alien Worlds I like because Dave Stevens does interior art on it, too, for those stories. God, I love the sci-fi so much more. So I'm going Alien Worlds, even though I already have it.
Yeah, I like the classic bubble on that, right?
Oh, it's such good retro sci-fi.
Yeah. I mean, I love this figure, the female figure in this, and how it's a very pure form, but I really like the throwback 50s look of this one.
That is Wallywood EC Adventure right there. Like I love that. I love that cover.
I think as much as I am a man of culture, and therefore I am a fan of tasteful side boob. I think I like Alien Worlds better because she has agency. Like she's doing something,
Yeah,
working it.
I think I'm gonna go Alien Worlds.
I got a job to do with my mini skirt in space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Alien Worlds is taking this one, guys. Everybody in the chat is piping up to Alien Worlds. But just like that, there is our this and that. So that wasn't too bad. It's a lot of fun to kind of compare books like this, I try to keep them as close as I can to make it tough to pick.
Why did you say that wasn't too bad? Like we just got like vaccinated or something.
Sometimes it's hard to make a choice, I think, when it comes to stuff like that. And a lot of it is personal too. Like with that last one, it's a matter of preference of the actual artwork because it's the same artist, or maybe it's the theme of the book. So, but that's a lot of fun. Thanks, guys, and thank you guys in the chat for participating. I hope you guys have fun with that. I really do like playing these games with everybody and picking everybody's brains. But that was this episode.
Side Quest Comics presents this or that.
What a good sport she is, isn't she?
He is.
She's great. I really enjoyed meeting her. She's a lovely person.
She puts up with me with all this comic book stuff. All right, so now we did that. Let's show some more books. So usually what I do with the end of the month comic show offs is show kind of like our monthly hunts and quests and stuff like that. But because all of us were just at a big con and we got like basically a half box of books, good opportunity to show off some books. And I came up with challenges for us at the thing. We were thinking originally, let's do a daily weird challenge and maybe we'll film there. And then we kind of heard that the internet wasn't the best at the hotel. So we thought maybe we shouldn't. And a lot of times, I think most nights we were just exhausted too. So a lot of times we just crashed. But I thought, well, let's do it on one of the shows type of thing. So I came up with 5 challenges for us to do. And I'm going to run through these real quick. So HeroCon challenges. One of the first one was the Daily Weird. So I thought what we could do is we'll go through these. We'll show the books that we can plug in there from our time at the con. And Daily Weird, I figured up to 3 because there is a 3-day con. So let's pick up to 3 weird ones that we found. Next one was a $10 treasure hunt. So something that you found for less than $10. Hidden gem. With my books because I wrote more notes on some of my stuff. So let's see. We got $10 treasure hunt. Coolest $10 or less, thing that you found at the con. Hidden gem was like one obscure character or book that you found. Could be a book, could be like merchandise, something like that. Next up, we had a vintage find. So something before 1990. And there's going to be bonus points if it's under $5. I thought that would be fun. And then the last one I thought of for our challenge was a theme cover. Fairly easy, right? A lot of us do these theme kind of videos and stuff on our channel. So theme cover, whatever 3 themes that you could think of, and do up to 3 again, like I said, different themes. Now, for example, one of mine was movie. So I found a movie comic that I could plug into this one. So I figured we'll go round robin for each category and show what we got. So the first one's going to be the Daily Weird. So who wants to go first for Daily Weird? Not dope. Who wants to go first for Daily Weird?
I'll go first.
Okay. I'm afraid what dope's going to bring. He's going to blow us all away. All right, well, what you got for Daily Weird up to 3?
Funnily enough, the Daily Weird ones are the ones that I've shown off the most because I'm almost happiest with these.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go like in order of when I found them. So day 1 belongs to Elfin Romance number 6.
Great. Yeah, it does.
The Choose Life pregnant elf cover. I'm just gonna move on from that. Day 2 belongs to Mr. Cream Puff. This is the joint book that Nate and I both found. And Nate, I don't know if it's fully set in for you yet, but I officially regret spending $2 on this.
Yeah.
This was
and we bought extras. We were like, "There's 4."
You ran to me and said, "Oh, here you go."
I spent $8 on that, and it was going to be there the next day. Like nobody else is buying that.
No, we could have got that for $1. Like
easily,
all 4.
Easily.
Could have got for 50
why didn't y'all try talking him down?
Because he was already cutting ridiculous deals that I would have felt like scum trying to negotiate with him. The last book, not as weird as A Pregnant Elf or Mr. Cream Puff, but it is Night Force.
I love that series though.
It's Night Force number 13. And I picked this one for weird because, yes, there is a man crucified to a swastika. We can all see that. But it's a 60-cent book, which means this came out in like the 70s, the 80s?
Early 80s, I think is when that was. Yeah.
But yeah, so like way too late to have a swastika cover like that. I think there's an ad for Tron on the back there.
Yeah.
So 83, early 80s.
Yeah, that's classic Gene Colan right there. I love it.
I don't remember what night. I said this last time. Like I don't remember. I remember Night Force. Like I recognize that trade dress, but I don't remember.
Well, just so you know, Nate, when I first discovered this, I went on the interwebs and got the whole run for less than $20.
Okay, that tells us a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. So, who is next? Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I got mine up here. So I think these are in order. Yeah, my entries weren't as good as I had hoped, but I mean, I found this Star Hug-a-Bunch.
Hey, that one made Matt go buy it. So
yeah, this thing's creepy. Like I'm uneasy about the Mon Chi children.
Yeah.
But then why is there an alfalfa child? Like, why are there like different kinds of humanoid creatures? It's weird. This guy that everybody had to tell me, his name is Terra, Terra. I think he's a cowboy, but the one that's trying to ride Superman like a bronco.
Yeah,
it's so weird. I really like this one because it's not like it's not Silver Age. This is 30-cent era, and this is weird.
There's a chunk I think of like 20 or 30 issues right there in that action that are just weird covers. I mean, I think that's the era that has the pillow biting cover. I think there's the diner one where if he stops eating, he's gonna die. It's just weird.
You gave me one.
Yeah.
The last one I got just didn't pan out, but it's weird. It's called Very Vicky, and she looks like what is the thing they have, the Kentucky Derby. She looks like a Kentucky Derby lady. She's smoking a cigarette, but her sash says Miss Blended Whiskey. So I mean, I was like, that's
Kentucky
cool.
Too.
Yeah, I thought this would be.
Sounds like a fun time.
It did, but I haven't read it all the way through. The art was really rough though. So I don't know. I will read it because
you gotta find out if she's the bad guy or the good guy. I don't know.
I have no idea, but yeah, I was hoping for something a little weirder, but those would be my 3 weird ones.
All right, Dope, I'm going to let you go before me.
All right. First, we got this book that I'm really, really wanting to read. It's Daring Operation gives a young surgeon a murderer's hand with a killer instinct. So this guy is
yes.
Man, look at the lighting on that art, though.
So good.
Yeah, I really want to read this one because he's got that murderer's hand and it's purple and he looks like he's going to kill himself. So I will be reading that. Also, I've showed y'all this one when I was a kid. This is the first and the only one I saved of all my Spider-Man books from original times. Because of my favorite character, Banjo there. He's a hillbilly, and you don't pick on Banjo. And so I found the foreign version. And whatever language this is, Banjo is still spelled the same, I guess. So
yeah, it's Spanish. Hombre arana.
Banjo's still the same. Yeah. So there's Banjo and the hillbilly people.
Look at his depressing family, too, man.
Well, they know Banjo's got him. He didn't know trouble. He's gonna break Spider-Man in half. And he does. He whips his ass. So that's in the Appalachian Mountains. So that's right where y'all went through. So,
yeah, you didn't have to tell us that was in Appalachia. We already knew.
and here we are with House of Mystery number 241. I guess they were running out of ideas by 241, and they couldn't think of nothing real scary. So this is Beware of the Man Who Hated Cats. And he's destroying cat tombstones. See that little beware of the man who hated cats? I don't know what's scary about that, but
What's going
That
on with the
cat
chest
is-
of money?
That cat is copy pasted in. That is a different art style than everything else.
Yeah.
well, I don't know what this book's about or what's so scary about a man that hates cats, but I got to read it to find out.
Why
Yeah.
does that cat have like a human-sized tombstone? Is the cat buried in a regular cemetery?
A very
Well, there's
rich
a pile of
old
money
lady.
out there, so I don't know. But beware of the
one
man
of-
who hates
It's
cats.
a pharaoh's cat.
Yeah.
So-
They were out of ideas. They found that in a drawer and said, I guess this.
I guess so.
Oh, that is it.
All right. So I'm up now. Yeah, so one of these you guys have seen, and it was one of those oops. The first one, so I found these first two in the same booth, and I got them. I kind of was like, okay, I'll get one for today, one for tomorrow type thing. But I'm going to show this one first. Femforce in the House of Horror. Now, I featured a book a while ago with this character, Hellcat, with the almost see-through costume. And this, I don't know who any of these other girls are. I don't know who this villain is, but it's the House of Horror. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm curious. They got me curious about what's going on with this. So
I
that's
like the granny up front. So
yeah.
oh, Silver Fox there. I'll take Silver Star.
Yeah, I don't even know what their names are.
That might be first appearance of Silver Star.
Yeah, I'll take Silver Star.
This one was I couldn't pass it up with this hairdo. There's a lot of Aquanet in it, and it is Lady Vampire.
Oh, yeah.
Flesh #1. This
You
is
had to
just
die. That's the way to go.
so 80s. I don't know how her lingerie is staying up. Oops. I
That's
might have-
incredible. The photo cover, it's incredible.
But she is a vampire. You see her teeth. She's
Oh yeah.
Didn't know
It's the
she had
second
teeth.
it's the second thing I looked at.
It was the third thing I looked at. It was 1 and then 2 and then 3.
Oh my god. They do have a regular series that's out there. I know nothing about it. I see them a couple times. Now this one I grabbed because I thought it dope because I know his flavor of supervillains, and I had a hard time looking this up in my app, so I'm not sure if I
Oh yeah.
have found it. But it's Tales from the Edge. This is it's #2, so there's more than one. But yeah, Dr. Cyclops here wants a mate. So and Space Cowboy is powerless to stop him.
Rick
Kind of
Montana
has a retro
the
look
Space
to it, but I
Cowboy.
like the guy with the big. It's like they combine villains here almost.
Yeah, we've got the Orb and Metallo on the cover, choking out
Right.
a beauty contest winner, I
Yeah.
suppose.
And
Yeah,
it
her
looks like
mate.
she's got her high heels still on. So
And
The
I've
Orb
never
is
seen
wearing Martian
Cyclops
Manhunter's
spelled that
costume.
way.
yeah, that's why I got Martian Manhunter. So there's a lot of feels there. So that was my 3 weirds for the weekend.
It's illegal to drug a person to get a mate these days, but I guess you could do it in them days.
These
Maybe that's
days,
the future. There's a shortage of mates. I don't know. Let's see. Let me look at the chat here. Okay, he approves. We got some approval for Lady Vampire, and I flipped through it. There's like an interview with that model actress in there too, and it's like almost like a novel like story. It's not a comic book. It's like it's like Skinamax story or
Oh
something.
yeah.
I'm shocked.
It was just
personally.
all text. It was just text and black and white photos.
Yeah.
Can't believe they ain't no good.
All right. So next category we got is we got the $10 treasure hunt. So coolest $10 or less that you found. So who wants to go?
Not it.
I'll go. I'll
Okay.
go.
Dope wants to go.
For $10, I found this German horror book, and I don't know what it's nothing about it, but I love the cover. So
Yeah, it's an excellent cover. Look at the zombies
That's
in the
amazing,
background.
yeah.
That guy is screwed.
yeah. But being German or whatever, I figured I'd never see another one, so I had to grab it. So
Yeah. And that looks like it's magazine format. Is that like a bigger
Yeah.
format?
yeah, it's big.
Okay.
So
It'd be fun to look at the artwork, right?
yeah.
And that's the nice thing about comics. I think that's one of the things that got me into comics is, as an early reader thing. And a lot of the story I got from just following panel to panel
when you go ahead and take that shirt off.
Yeah, I think at that point that shirt's pretty much done, right? I mean, what is it? Is it?
Yeah, I don't think it's doing much.
That's just for style at that point. Like that's a choice.
That's like the Andre the Giant style. I don't know.
It's harder
hanging
to
over his
keep
elbow.
that
I think I just go ahead and take that off.
It's harder to keep that shirt on than it is to just let it fall off of you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
All right. Next up.
I'll go.
Okay.
This is a $2 treasure.
Oh, got some points. Got some points.
Flaming Carrot 11. So that's a very early issue. I don't know what this is worth, but I know it's worth more than $2. So
That's a
this
pretty
was
good
the
find,
lowest
then.
numbered Flaming Carrot I found at the show.
Huh. Okay. All right, Hagen, I'm throwing you into the fire.
All right. So for 50 cents, I got the first appearance of Longshot. Longshot number 1 in a
50
newsstand.
cents. That's nice.
Yeah, so I most of my books that I got were 50 cents. It was like half 50 cents, a few $2, a $3, $5, and then a $75 book. Like that's just how it went. But yeah, I'm very happy with that.
So it was C2E2. Art Adams was there. I almost bought that book just to get signed because I got it in a trade for $30, and I didn't. So that book is like, it can go for big dollars just because that's the first appearance of Longshot.
The sticker on it is 20, and it's dated 5/17/19. So they've apparently been trying to move it for a while, and it just didn't work. They threw it in a 50-cent bin, and I just came along and
yeah, he's a character that hasn't been relevant in a long time. So I think people have just forgot about him. All right, so I am actually, I don't know if this is cheating because this was all together. So I kind of scored on this one. So my $10 or less was actually number 1, Chameleon Commandos. But when I investigated a little further, see, it's a little thick. That's because all 5 issues were in here, and the guy said just take them. So I got all of them for, I think, when did I get this? It was on the $2 day, I think. So I got all of these for $2.
That's awesome.
That'll do.
Yeah.
I don't have to hunt for them because at first I found 1, and then I found 2. And I'm like going. And then all of a sudden I found this one. I was like, oh, heck with that. They're all right here. All right. So that was our $10 one. So next up we have Hidden Gem, one obscure character or let's see, what is this? Yeah, Hidden Gem, one obscure character. Could be comic, could be merchandise. What do we got? Dope, you're ready. I see you itching.
I'm ready. So my hidden gem, I've been looking for this for over a year. It is a hidden gem because most people don't even know it exists. And from the outside, it don't look like much. But this thing here is FOMO number 7. You always see them on eBay, and they're about $75. And you're thinking, why is it $75 for a FOMO number 7? But if you open it up and look at the very back of it, the back of it is the reason I bought it. I'm a big Ghost Rider fan, and this is the very first picture ever of Ghost Rider.
That's a cool picture, too. Yeah.
Awesome.
And it says right down at the bottom, if you can read it, one of the very first pictures created by Mike Plug of Ghost Rider. So this is the very first time. This came out after, Marvel Spotlight 5, but it's the very first drawing of Ghost Rider before that. So that's what he was supposed to look like. So I'm going to put it back in the bag this way and just show this because this is the reason I bought it. So
that is totally Easy Rider motorcycle right there.
Right.
That's really neat.
You'd have a hard time jumping stuff with that chopper, but you'd probably break in half as soon as it hit the ground. But
that's an awesome find.
Yeah. So any Ghost Rider fan must have this. And if a lot of times you see these on eBay, this thing's filled out for some reason. So
wow. Well, yeah, those are subscriptions. So
yeah,
a lot of those just did not survive the 70s. Very cool. All right, Nate, picking you.
This is just like, it's not worth anything. It's a book I really liked when I read it. And so I found most of it, and it's beautiful. It's called Moon Shadow, written by JMD Mateus, covers and interiors are painted by John J. Muth. It's
Beautiful.
advertised as a adult fairy tale, and I'd say it's very much like that. It's, you know, it's whimsical and bittersweet. I love this cover so much.
That was the first one that I found, I think.
Yeah.
And the skull and the moon, the Grim Reaper and the planets and the moon, just, oh god, it's so good.
It's really it's about this kid who like grows up in complete isolation and then has to go off into the universe, completely naive and somehow survive with you know, some characters of that surround him that aren't completely trustworthy, but it's a very unique story, and it was done under Epic, so it was, you know, like creator owned. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
So if you have a chance to read that, I highly recommend it, if nothing else, just for the art.
That's cool that you found them all together like that too.
Yeah, I think there's 2 missing, but and they're in tremendous shape. I mean, they came in Mylars.
Wow. All right, so my hidden gem one here is so I found this one out Saturday. I was waiting in line for the Roy Thomas, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad that Mary stayed behind in line. I ran to the bathroom, and this was by our booth, our main booth that we hit more than anything other. As I was coming back, I just kind of did one of these, glanced over, and I was like, what is that? I went right in beeline and grabbed it, and with the sales, I couldn't pass it up. But it's Stories of Strange Adventure. This is 138 of Forbidden Worlds. So
very cool.
Magic Man. Like, how can you deny a superhero named Magic Man wearing a turban with a purple?
That's what my wife calls me.
With the deepest possible V. The deepest physically possible.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That is
that
is quite the cut.
He's grabbing that old school bomb with the nuclear symbol on it. And look at that jet.
It's Operation Vietnam too.
Yeah. So yeah,
Wow.
this was, and it, like I said, this was at that booth that was giving deals. I think I paid $10 for this.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was not, and it's in really good shape. So I like seeing kind of these oddball characters from back then.
Yeah.
So that was my hidden gem. Let's see. Let me look at. Yeah, they came in Mylar bags as a real victory. Sometimes I've bought dollar books that were in Mylar because of that. Oh yeah, I'm good.
Absolutely.
All right. So next up, our next round is vintage finds. So something before Hagen, under $5 and extra couple points. So who do we
I don't think I did my my pick for that last one.
All right. Oh, no, you didn't. That's
yeah,
right.
it's not anything super crazy or anything, but I do think that it's really cool. So the book is not a hidden gem. Because the book is the opening shot sketchbook for the Civil War event, which I love. I get this anytime I see it. If I see it for $1 or less, 50-cent bin. And I like the book so much because it has like sketch art on the inside from the Civil War event.
I like that one right there.
Yeah, that's Humberto Ramos. Yeah. I liked him on Wolverine a lot.
And it has, if I can just find it really quick, it has probably my favorite single panel of Spider-Man, where he's in the Iron Spider outfit for the first time. Just super, super cool, standing above the city.
I don't know if I've ever seen that, Hagen. So to me, that's a gem. I'm like, I've never seen that.
Well, yeah. So I will. You and I are working something out. I will send this to you because I have a couple of these. But the really cool thing is that along with this, again for 50 cents, Marvel printed tickets for the Civil War event. So there's this here with Thor smashing through Cap's shield. That's another copy of the exact same one. This is sort of like the definitive image from Civil War. This is like what comes on all the trades. And then the last one is, I believe, the Michael Turner splash page, which is really cool. And Marvel also did promotional copies of the Daily Bugle. And really so these are 3 papers that came out with it. And on the back, they have the list of books that are in the series.
Wow.
And I think the order that they come in and the day that they come out.
Those are actual like newsprint too, right? Actual
Yeah, this is actual newspaper.
That's cool.
So a promotional event or promotional materials for a comic event that was formative for me. Super, super cool to find. 450 of my finest cents.
That crossover was the beginning of the end of my reading Marvel during that time.
I get it. I understand. But I was like, what? Civil War came out in 2007. I was 9 years old. So give me a break.
I stuck around for Civil War. Like, I actually liked it. It's just what everything spun out of that. Like, it never stopped. Like, every summer they had to do something.
You know, I think back in the early 90s when they were doing the crossovers with like the annuals and stuff, and it's like they would put key moments in books that you cared nothing about.
Right.
And it's like if you wanted that story, you had to get everything. And
yeah,
I did get turned off by that. Like they do it now still, and I can't do it. I have no interest.
Yeah, I totally get that.
See you, Rich. Thanks for popping in.
Thanks, dude.
Let's see. Newspapers are cool. All right. So now we have the vintage finds before 1990. Under $5 is a bonus. What do we got?
I'll either me or Nate can go first.
Sure.
I'm up.
You're still up.
So under $5. This one was $2, and I think Nate, you picked this out of the box and threw it at me and said that I needed to get it because it is the illustrated story of railroads. Just like a ridiculously cool book. I love trains. I love big things made out of metal that move fast. Very simple man. But yeah, $2 for the illustrated story of railroads from it's a Classics Illustrated publication. So would that be Gold Key? Still doing that?
I think they were doing that. All right, Nate.
I have two. One is sadly in way rougher shape than I thought, but so anytime I can find an older Archie, not that this is super old, but this is a 35 center, and a newsstand, and they're both
little Archies
is why I got them. So a little Archie, and then my favorite is this 25 center of Archie's Christmas Love-In. So that's a different kind of Christmas than I'm used to, but yeah, he's playing hippie music.
I was gonna say that looks like early 70s. They got bell bottoms on and.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because it's a 25 center, and I think it's I guess it's not a square bound, but it's a thicker book. But yeah, I saw a lot of Archie comics, but it was the early stuff like Pep and the ones that they wanted real money for. I was looking for I'm looking for nonsense from the 70s. I do
remember seeing like Sabrina ones, and I was kind of like, oh, but then I looked at them like, well, they're not really anything important, so it's kind of like, why, unless it was kind of an important one. All right, what do you got, Dope?
We got another foreign. We got the evil Spider-Man. It was $5.
Oh yeah.
He's muscled.
You figured out who that artist is yet? It kind of looks like. I don't want to say Ron Lim, but
I think that's the artist right there.
It is. Somebody put it in the chat last time. Somebody knew who it was. It's like something Savick.
But the weird part about this book, it's either $1,000,
right,
or 1,000 pesos, which is $52. So either way, it's overpriced.
Way too much.
$52.
The exchange rate had to have been different back then.
Look at $1,000. So
for Hombre Arana,
it's worth it too.
Something that I didn't think about, that the character design for Spidey reminds me a lot of Doppelganger from it was the Secret Wars 2 event.
Yeah, that's why it looks so familiar to me. Okay,
he doesn't have 4 arms, but
the face.
I can't think of another Spider-Man face that has teeth.
It's the teeth. Yeah.
That's why. And then the Punisher symbol in the background.
Right.
All right. So I think I am up. So my vintage find before 1990. Let me see. I got to see when this came out. Came out in 1983. I paid 50 cents for this. This was a last day find. It is number 50 of Spider-Woman, and this is the last issue. Like in the back of it,
Oh, that's awesome.
it seems weird because it says, with profound regret, we must announce that this is the final issue of Spider-Woman. They kill her, spoilers, in the end. But yeah, look at this
So
classic.
she dies in the book.
Don't worry, she gets better.
She gets better.
They all do. But look at that cosplay.
I love these
Maybe
photo
that's why they
covers.
canceled it.
I can't believe they have they have that moth character. And is that White Tiger?
It might be.
I mean, I think that's Tigra, right?
That's Tigra. I don't know who the moth one is.
I don't either.
And then who do we got up here? We got Werewolf by Night, and yeah, I don't know who some of these
Can't
characters
even
are. I
tell.
mean, that looks like the Shadow.
I was about to say
That
that
one
dude looks like
guy-
a shadow.
The
He
Shadow
looks like
knows.
the other guy looks like a blue meanie from Yellow Submarine.
He's walking off the ledge. It looks like.
Yeah.
Michael is saying that character, the moth character's name is Gypsy Moth, which I
Oh,
have
yeah.
never heard of before.
Very rando. Probably runs around with 8-Ball.
Little chubby. That moth.
It reminds me of Arthur from The Tick. He was a chubby little moth too.
So yeah, that was my my vintage find. I think this is
That's
the
really
only
cool.
Spider-Woman I have too. It's one of those series I see in the discount bins, and I'm always kind of like, do you want to grab it? Because it's, it's Bronze Age type of book. So, but like I said, I always see it in the discount bin.
I think that era of Marvel is a lot of fun. There's just a lot of street level stuff like Power
Yeah.
Man and Iron Fist. Even Spider-Woman feels like kind of gritty. Like they feel like Grindhouse movies back then.
Yeah, and the Carol Danvers at that time I liked a lot. Yeah, like you said, it's a different type of storytelling.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun.
So Michael says the Shadow was called the Shroud.
The Shroud. Oh yeah, he
He's-
turned into a Moon Knight, I think, villain.
Oh.
Eventually. All right, so we got one last one. So this last one is our theme covers. So we got up to 3 different themes, dealer's choice. Who wants to go?
I'll go last.
Okay. Hagen.
I'll go.
I'm gonna pick you. I got to switch here. There we go.
All right, so the theme that I chose, and to be clear, I don't think any of us went into the weekend looking for a theme, but just kind of the
Just
way
weird.
that all of the way that all of our brains work, like we kind of gravitate towards themes, right?
Yeah.
This isn't really weird. It's just like an interest of mine that when it overlaps with comic books, I'm really happy about that. And it's cars, specifically like racing cars.
Okay.
So the first one that I got for 50 cents was the Daytona 500 story.
Yeah, I know where you got that because I saw him.
Yeah, and this is by Vortex Comics, and I haven't read all of it yet, but I've gotten to the part where they start talking about how the Daytona 500 started like with racing on the beach. But the thing about NASCAR is that they started off as drug runners and like prohibition alcohol runners, and they don't talk about that here. So this is basically a piece of crap.
Interesting.
The next book, Eric, you will remember, because it's the one that I freaked out when you gave it to me. And it's Hot Rods and Racing Cars with Clint Curtis and the Road Knights. And the reason why I freaked out, and I showed this to my friend Jordan, who goes to a bunch of races with me, these are 1970s era Can-Am cars, which is Canada American Series cars. It's like the road racing series that was really popular back then. And these cars had between 1,000 and 1,400 horsepower and tires from the 70s, and they didn't care about safety at all. They were insane, and people died. But they are really cool and really, really just wacky looking. Like we hadn't quite figured out how air worked yet, and so the cars just looked odd.
They would just take off.
Yeah. There's a very famous video of, and it's later than this, but it's the Sauber C9 that took off at the Nürburgring. It just caught air underneath it and then just started flipping. But yeah, that happened. That happened in the Can-Am series too, because they basically turn into wings when you get air underneath them. And the last book I got from Derek Hammondtree, if he's still here, because like Nate said earlier, he gave us each a copy of Ghosts. and we just sort of randomly pulled from the stack, and all of us pulled books that really, really worked for us. The books that I pulled was this, where this ghostly figment is about to run down a hitchhiker. And I just think it's great. I think it's tremendous. I really like the cover, and I like the subtle skull on the cover. I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But that's my theme is the things that go vroom vroom.
Okay. Nate.
Yep. So my theme, I didn't set out for it, but my theme is going to be swords and sorcery. So I've got, I think, 5 books that fit the theme. So the first one is Angels of Destruction. And these ladies they got their swords and they're ready for battle. The cover is painted and it's really cool. I did start reading this, and the interior art, like, it's an early Malibu book, and it reads like an early Malibu book. So the art's not great. Yeah, I don't know. So but the cover's really cool, and I'll probably still go back and read it. But like when I started flipping through it, I was like, well, this isn't very good. This next one is, though, Amethyst Princess of Gem World, issue number 1. I think it was $1. I don't remember. Like, I mean, I grabbed a couple of things that I already have because they were cheap, but that's some swords and sorcery. Yeah, I went back for that Iraq Son of Thunder number 1, Eric, but it was gone. But I got the number 3.
Okay.
And then
I'm debating. Do I want to chase that? Because the covers that I've seen look interesting.
I'm not chasing it, but it is one that I have literally come across. Like, here's a stack of here's whatever is it, Iraq, whatever it is. They're like, here's a stack of Iraq. Give me $1. Like, I have about, like, I think I have about 20 issues of this, and I have not like paid for them. They just like they show up with other things. But third issue,
you go down the Thongor rabbit hole. I'm telling you.
I
give
have
me a moment,
those.
shall you? This next one, I'd never heard of this. DC Weird Worlds presents Iron Wolf.
He was only in a couple issues of that.
That's some tall boots.
That's very tall boots, right? Like, that would agitate your crotch, no question. Those are too high,
especially on a hot day,
right? So yeah, I keep talking about it. I really am like getting into the 2 circles. The 20-cent DC era has just some really good stuff, really good stuff. And then I only found one, Dope, but I found it. Creatures on the Loose,
right
I got
number 29.
Look at that trade dress. How nice that is.
So now, Thongor, what he reminds me of is Thundar the Barbarian.
Yes,
it
very
totally
much
reminds me of that.
Even the font is similar.
Yeah. I want to know why Thongor's fighting the Gorn.
Right? Yeah. It's the Day of the Dragon Kings, and over here it says, because you probably can't read that, is this Thongor's final battle? Well, it better not be. It better not. I mean,
I don't remember
this is the thing, though, that like Marvel should hire us for. Like, we'll bring back Thongor. All right, we'll make it fun.
We'll write some stories.
I know you're not going to let Spider-Man be married, but I bet they'll let us. I bet they'll let us do some wacky stuff with Thongor.
Get Mark Russell to write Thongor has to work in an office cubicle. Get him to do a 6-issue maxi series. Let's make this shit happen. He could kill it.
All right,
Thongor learns how to use an Excel spreadsheet.
How do you spell that Thongor?
Thongor.
I think it was only featured in Creatures on the Loose.
It was, yeah. It's only like 5 or 6 issues. It's not much.
Yeah, it just says Creatures on the Loose was 10 through 37, so it don't tell me how many Thongors is in there.
There's another character they did in, I think it was Fear, one of those kind of anthology ones where they did little story arcs, but it was more sci-fi. I can't think of the character's name. But same thing like Thongor. He had a little stretch in the series, and then they switched to a different character.
Well,
rest in peace.
All right, so I'm bringing it up. Where are you, Thongor?
Thundar is way cooler, Coach says. Yeah,
okay,
Thundar
so
is pretty cool.
Thongor starts in issue 22, which I have that one. I think, Dope, I think you gave me that one. or you showed it to me in one of the comic shops because I know I came home with it from Nashville. So it goes from 22 to 29. So, oh my God, this really is Thongor's final battle.
Oh, but hold your
sad.
horses, because Thongor started, I believe, in a series of sword and sorcery novels by Lynn Carter. So there is more Thongor, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry.
And he's not on the old key list. So
Yeah.
he has no keys.
Right.
I'm shocked.
Even his first appearance is like, whatever.
Yeah.
His name's Thongor. What do you want?
It's Thongor. We're not writing that down.
All right. For my theme, I went with the green character Hulk. So we've got the 7th appearance of Hulk ever. This is the first time he met Fantastic Four. You know, the first 6, then it was canceled, and then Stan Lee decided, since Hulk was his favorite character, he put him back in some big titles like Fantastic Four and Amazing Spider-Man 14, and hoped to jumpstart the Hulk's career, and it worked. So this is a very important book if you're a Hulk fan, because maybe it helped jumpstart his career. And
That's a good looking copy, man. The colors
I like that.
great.
And then we got 181.
The friggin' heat.
All the Hulk I bought was big, so there's 181.
Nice reds on that.
Yeah, that's what I was going
So
for, the
good.
red. So
Yeah, I'm sorry. Didn't Nate literally just show a Thongor book?
that's his category. And then Avengers #1. So
I don't even know if I should show what I got now.
and look the red on there. So
And the yellow.
now I can file these. Bruce showed them, so never to be seen again. They're going into the black hole.
They're going into the vault.
Yeah, see, Eric, we did the smart thing. Nate and I walked into the gym shower before Dope got in there. Now you have to go in after you've seen what he's working with. And
Yeah.
I thought I was going to go last, and he put me on there anyway.
I know. I put you on there anyway. Now, my theme covers, I picked up the 3 different themes. I didn't go with the same 3 theme for all 3. I'm going to start off. My first one is actually, let's see. I messed these up. I went Dino. I got these reversed. So I'm going with Dino. So Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery with this. So I read this yesterday. It's got 2 stories in here. This is the backup story. So these miners basically unlock a chamber where this lizard comes out, but he was irradiated with radiation. So he becomes like Godzilla, basically.
So like,
I think that's basically what they did is they ripped off Godzilla. And the end of the story, he just goes back in a hole. Okay, it's all done. He comes out. He's pissed off. He causes destruction. Then he goes in a hole.
that is Godzilla.
miners are 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was pretty cool. 30 center. I think I paid 50 cents for this.
I love all those books.
Yeah,
so
great
cool.
covers. They have really good classic art on them.
Does the dinosaur have white eyes?
Yeah, he's glowing.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
irradiated.
That's
He is
spooky.
pissed.
I see when you showed that the first time, I thought it was like Ghost Dinosaur. Like it looks like
That's
a
what I
Scooby-Doo
thought it was
Ghost
too.
Dinosaur.
I thought it was like a ghost dinosaur, but no, he's in the
Hold
comic.
on, I'm writing down Ghost Dinosaur. That's my
He's-
next comic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like green in the comic, which is interesting. And they're shooting at him, but he's so irradiated that the bullets are just melting before they hit him.
Oh wow, I didn't see that. Yeah, they're melting away before they get to him.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
they-
cancer
look at that.
dinosaur is what that is.
So yeah, he's basically Godzilla.
Man.
I love some of those stories. They're fun to read. All right, so my next theme, the second theme I went with, and I'm a monster guy too, like Dope. I love Dracula in the Marvel comics. So this was one of my quests at the con was to get magazine ones. So I found a really high grade Dracula Lives, which number is this? 13. So this is pretty late in the run, but look at that cover. That's my Dracula. He's getting ready to eat both of them.
That's the Animorph cover sells it.
Making out on, and look at the artwork. That's like a beautiful painted cover.
But don't you hate it when you're making out and then a Dracula just like
Yeah,
morphs
come on,
out of the
dude.
sky at you?
Yeah, he's jealous.
And that's Fang blocking in the highest right there.
Yeah, he's gonna try and suck that dude's blood, but none of it's in his neck.
He's empty. What's going on?
All right, and the last one is a movie theme. Nate, you ready for this?
I
Got your
am.
socks? Hold on to your socks. I found
socks are blown
Marvel
off.
Super Special Krull. Now, I looked the other day to see what this was. Is it just a straight reprinting of 1 and 2 of the, the movie special? It kind of is, but they did modify like where this ends. They don't have like that next time, type of thing. They just kind of kept going.
Yeah.
Now, the cool thing about this, and this is what it sold me on it, is it's not just a comic. So they got photos from the movie in here and little articles of them making the film. So it's got a bunch of different like stills from the movie, which I was just like, oh yes, please. It's like a fanzine almost from back in the 80s. That's when really cool. Had stuff like that. Look it.
God, that's
I remember
terrible.
You showing me that. That's awful.
He's featured prominently in the film.
That actor is suffering in there.
And then, look at this. Oh yeah.
The Krull Mania.
Krull Mania. It's a thing.
It is a thing. That guy's got a shirt with the glaive on it.
Oh, yeah. And then and I've recently looked up these actors to see where they are and type stuff. They're all alive still. The main actors, cool. Completely different looking now, of course, because it's 40 years later. But look at these. I want to cut these out, put them on your back of your door in your room. Stay out, Mom.
But if they're still alive, Krull 2 could happen, is what
could happen. Now he's going to be the old man up on the hill coming down.
Krull 2,
look
the Krullening.
Look at the demon.
Yeah. I love the creature.
Cool. So yeah, just the what did I pay? $5 for that was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is all we got for that challenge, and actually that wraps up all our challenges, guys.
Great.
Let me switch.
Too bad I still have 2 more short boxes of books to show.
And I tried. I figured our challenges was a way that we can kind of work through the stuff we got. Yeah, we probably got a couple more shows like this that we could do that. Because I was, whether it was all the books that we gave each other or us hitting those discount bins like we did, we hit them hard. That I found a lot of fun books.
Well, I really did end up with almost a full short box just of AOKs. Like I took half a short box with me, and when I passed all those books out, they doubled. They were like triples.
I ended up having to get another box.
Yeah, well, that was kind of funny too, because on that last day there were so many tables where people had broken down boxes. They're just like 3 boxes. We don't even want to take it, which kind of surprised me, but.
Excellent, because I'm the type of guy that I like to organize it. Otherwise, I'm like, okay, I know I got a book. Where did it go? Type of thing. That's my biggest problem until I do get them where they're supposed to go, is I lose track of them, especially when we're making content. I have different piles of stuff I want, and sometimes I want them in different videos for different reasons. So, yeah, it's easy to lose track of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a couple books I'm looking for, like, that I cannot find right now, and I have no idea where they ended up. But it was like I showed them on a stream or something, and who knows? Yep.
Well, guys, we are almost at 2 hours. I want to thank you guys for coming on and joining me and just having fun with these challenges. So it's a little bit different than what I normally do on the Sunday show off, but we're still showing off fun books. Hopefully you guys watching this, whether it's live or in the rewind, found some cool stuff that you have to add to those wish lists. I end up finding a bunch of books last weekend that were on my wish list, so I'm super happy about that.
Catch the fever.
And I didn't know what to expect, being the first time going to that big con, but I think overall it was a lot of fun. I can't wait till we get to do it again and do comic summer camp, or maybe comic spring break, or winter break, or whatever. The next time we can go to any event, or even if it's something small like Metropolis type of thing, and we just hit all those stores. I think we don't need a big con, I think, to get together and go digging. That's the fun part. We'll still have fun doing that.
Yeah, no, we had DopeCon a few months ago, and it was great. Like, we don't need to we don't need it to be a show. We can just all get together.
I still like the idea of like if we do go to Heroes, how much is one of those rooms that they have at the Westin? And we'll just rent it out at 8:00 to have FOMO Con. Like Friday night after the con closes, we'll just have our own.
Everybody just rent it out. You should be able to do anything there. So we'll just bring our sleeping bags, and that'd be our main room too.
Yeah.
I like it. That's really that would be a serious frat house situation.
Oh my God, yeah. The White
cooler and 4 sleeping bags.
Oh my God. But you guys, if you're not following any of these guys, make sure you click on one of the links down below. Check them out. Check out what content they're doing. Come visit us on Tuesday nights when we do our FOMO Squad Get Up. So this is kind of like a pre-FOMO Squad.
I don't know what we're doing this week. It's only 2 days away.
I still have plenty of books we can show.
Yeah. I love the little like challenges you've been coming up with though, Dope. Like the five book things have been fun.
I find it's fun, and it kind of focuses you a little bit too sometimes when you are digging or just looking through what you already have. It's like, okay, why did I get this book? Oh, because it's Sword and Sorcery, or it's because it's Thongor's first appearance, or whatever. It's something silly that just makes us laugh, and that's one of the things I like about the comic community. It's not so much about getting that big key. It's about what is fun to you. Yeah, it may be a big key, but it's what is fun to you, what is entertaining. I found, like, in the last couple of years getting back into this, I'm not getting into it because I'm a super fan of a character so much. It's entertainment. This dollar book is so entertaining to me. Is it going to win an award? No. But for me, it does win an award because it makes me laugh.
Right.
So that's the whole point.
Yeah, we are the last people you have to explain that to.
But before we get out of here, is there anything that any of you guys want to promote or talk about? I already mentioned FOMO Tuesday night on Nate's channel. Hagen, you got videos coming soon, right? So stay tuned.
Yeah, so I am probably I'm remembering how to use DaVinci Resolve. It's probably going to come out on Tuesday, and then I'm going to be filming the sort of community half of the video, and that's probably going to be coming out next week sometime. But I do have plans to do all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nate, what do you got coming besides our live stuff?
I'll have another Heroes Con video up this week, maybe 2, because I've got 2 filmed. It just depends on how the editing goes. But I'll get something up this week.
Who do we have on the Sunday show this week?
James from MJ Comics in England.
Very cool.
And so that'll be on Hagen's channel.
Then Dope, do it to it.
I dropped my last HeroCon video today, and I'm moving on and ready for new books on Wednesday. So I don't know what I'll be doing.
Okay.
I am actually going to the comic book store on Wednesday because a new Cap 1 comes out. And I gotta have it day of.
That's right.
There's a bunch of covers too.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we cover what's new this week, I think.
Yeah.
I think the last 2 weeks we've been preoccupied with Heroes Con stuff and guests and all that. So so we see how much I'm going to be spending.
Yeah. I spent a lot last week, a lot more than I thought I was going to. Oh, and on Tuesday we'll definitely talk about this, Dope.
Yeah.
Talk about some Magic Land.
I'm almost glad now after seeing your video, Dope, that I didn't find it, because I still have to read White Tiger and Werewolf with a Saturday Night Special. So,
And what's the Cobra one I gave you?
Oh, that one I'm actually looking forward to reading because it's got Bigfoot in it. So
Bigfoot in it.
It's Bigfoot. I don't care.
And I got to work tomorrow, so back at it. This is my first time going back to work, so 4 o'clock in the morning I'll be up and at it.
My first day back in over a week, so it's going to kind of suck, but
Godspeed, boys. I still got a few more weeks.
Well, guys, thank you for joining us. Like I said, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to everybody here. We had a lot of fun doing this. Hopefully you guys had fun watching us and our shenanigans and stuff. But that's what makes it fun for us. Okay, let me get us out of here. But thanks, guys. We will see you later. Happy questing out there, and we'll see you later.